A former New Jersey Republican governor, Christie, is the author of a new book. It's one of these kind of trash political books. And he was interviewed. He did the media rounds yesterday. He was interviewed on CNN. He was interviewed a bunch of different places. But the most interesting interview that Christie did was with Nicole Wallace on MSNBC. I'm not some big Nicole Wallace fan. I think she often does interesting interviews. And she really made Christie look as stupid as the book appears to be on the subject matter. So let me kind of give you the backstory. Christie, former Republican governor of New Jersey, involved in that horrifying Bridgegate scandal where they shut down a lane of the George Washington Bridge as a political punishment to the mayor of, I don't remember what Jersey town, Fort something, over a political disagreement. Just a disgusting, disgusting thing. Christie ran for the Republican nomination in 2016, slammed Donald Trump really, really hard, and then eventually fell in line and was famously pictured standing behind Trump looking ill, like he had some bad clams, as he was now endorsing Trump, and Trump behaving as Trump always does in completely embarrassing fashion, and Christie looking ill. And then he has tried to kind of frame himself as, okay, I did support Trump, but then I also have concerns about it. Trying to play every side of the Republican Party. So now Christie writes this book. He's going to tell the Republican Party how to save itself. The book is called Republican Rescue: Saving the Party from Truth Deniers, Conspiracy Theorists, and the Dangerous Policies of Joe Biden. Well, the Republican Party needs to be rescued from Trump. It's really not about Joe Biden at all. And I apologize. I just punched my microphone there. So it's just one of these garbage books. Enough with all the infighting, the truth denying, the wild conspiracy claims, the looking backward, the refusal to focus on the dangerous Biden agenda. Here's Christie's urgent guide for recapturing Republican glory. What? And winning elections again. Told with the New Jersey frankness and news-breaking insights that made the two-term governor, Trump early endorser, and presidential candidate an indispensable voice. It's just completely bonkers. And one of the things about the book, and you can look at the, I wanted to pull up the table of contents for you guys, but I'm unable to right now. One of the things about the book is it sort of seems to miss, number one, like the main source of right-wing conspiracies, which is right-wing media, including Fox News and these other networks. He talks about CNN. He talks about, all these other news networks, doesn't talk about Fox News. And good for her. Nicole Wallace calls him out, and it's painful in the best of ways to see how just silly Christie looks. Take a look at this.
The book is called, it's about conspiracies and lies, and you really don't take on Fox News. Why not?
Look, because
the book was... Tucker Carlson
because the book, no, I don't watch it, but the book...
Are you aware of what he does?
Not really. I don't pay a lot of attention to it.
Republican insider Christie has written a comprehensive book meant to guide Republicans away from conspiracy theories, and he claims not to know what Tucker Carlson does. Now, he may be lying. He may be lying because he knows exactly what Tucker does. He doesn't want to answer for it. That may be possible. However, how can you even claim to be an authoritative voice on what Republicans need to do to push back against conspiracies and lies, and say, I have no idea what happens on the Tucker Carlson show?
The book with truth deniers, conspiracy theorists on the cover, and you attack CNN and the New York Times and MSNBC and not Fox.
But excuse me, I don't attack them as conspiracy theorists or truth deniers. I talk about bias.
And is bias more dangerous to the country than conspiracy theorists?
No, but that's the third section of the book,
I read
where I talk about the movement forward. In the center portion of the book, we talk about the conspiracy theories and the truth denying that went on with things like QAnon, Pizzagate, the election situation, John Birch Society. And that's what I talk about. There's two sections of the book. And
you're kind of missing some of the major stuff from the right.
I'm sure accidentally you're conflating them.
I'm not conflating them, but I don't think I don't think it's an intellectually honest case to make against conspiracy theories without taking on Fox News.
Well, listen, then you can write that in your book.
Well, I'm not trying to rescue the Republican Party.
I understand.
She's not claiming to be the... It's such a dumb thing for him to say. Well, put that in your book. She's not claiming to be the authoritative voice about the lies and the conspiracies that have been told. But Chris Christie is.
Whenever you want to write your next
book, I guess my question is, you want to run for president. What's your relationship with Fox News going to be?
Well, first of all, I didn't say I wanted to run for president. You said that. So let's be clear about that.
Well, a lot of people have said that in the last 3 days. You haven't corrected anybody.
Well, I understand that.
You're pretty quick to jump in and correct the record.
No, what I've said is that I certainly will think about it, but I won't make any decision for at least another year.
Do you think that Fox News in prime time is good for the country or bad?
Listen, there are shows that I like in Fox News, and there's shows that I don't like. Like there are shows that I like here,
Are you afraid to question the purveyors of conspiracy theories and
By the
lies?
way, but that's your opinion. You're welcome to your opinion, like everybody else in this country is welcome to your opinion. I don't consider people like Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham purveyors.
I didn't say either of their names.
Well, so did you see what just happened? Nicole Wallace never mentioned Hannity and Laura Ingraham. Chris Christie brought them up. So you could say, well, maybe he's got a guilty mind there. But Hannity and Ingraham are huge. Hannity was giving medical advice on his show. Ingraham has been on an anti-vax tirade for 6 months. So not only did Nicole Wallace not bring them up, Chris Christie's lying about they are purveyors.
You said the evening news programs at Fox News.
The 8 p.m. hour.
And as I told you, I don't watch the show, so I don't know what Tucker does from night to night. If I watch anything at night in news, because most of the time I'm watching sports, if I'm watching anything in news, I'm usually watching either Sean or Laura.
So you may or may not support Donald Trump in 2024. You may or may not run for president. And a book about liars and conspiracy theorists doesn't have anything to say about Fox News.
This is an expert. He's written a book, guys.
No, the book talks about, you continue to conflate it. And you know what?
I don't know how you talk about liars and conspiracy theorists without talking about Fox News. I was a Republican. I think they've done more damage to the party than anything else.
I'm sure you do. But if we want to go through that, I think there are liars and conspiracy theorists on MSNBC and on CNN also. So maybe I'll write a book about all that. But that's not what this book is about. In that section of the book, I'm talking to Republicans about the way I believe we need to deal with media to be most effective for winning. The conspiracy theorists and truth deniers.
Right. And he got 2% of the vote.
Which nobody else on either side of the aisle is writing about right now, other than me. No one else is writing about that.
But do you want to solve them? Is my question.
We've done interviews with probably 5 to 10 experts on what does that mean? Nobody else is writing about it. It's just an embarrassing interview.
And if you want to solve the proliferation of conspiracy theories without dealing with Fox News, it's like solving terrorism without dealing with the terrorists.
Well, look, that's your opinion. I disagree with your opinion. And I don't believe, and I think it's irresponsible, Nicole, to analogize Fox News to terrorists.
I'm not analogizing them. I'm talking about root problems.
No,
you write about being a prosecutor.
And of course, you know, you can argue Nicole Wallace made a mistake there with the analogy, but she's not saying Fox News are terrorists, although you could argue that there is stochastic terrorism being carried out on Fox News. But you could have used any analogy, and Chris Christie is able to not deal with the substance of it by saying, you're saying Fox News are like terrorists. It's like saying, this is like dealing with, I don't know. Well, it's like dealing with a flat tire and having no way to pump it up. I don't know. There's a million different ways it could have been said. Her analogy is a good one.
I want to understand what your solution is to the title of the book. It's about truth deniers and conspiracy. How do we purge the truth deniers and conspiracy theorists from the party? Yeah.
From our party. And it's by telling the truth to our voters.
Where?
To our voters.
Where do you do that?
Right in my book.
No, but where do you go? Where do you tell?
Buy it. Go buy it. It's on sale today, and you can do it.
Where do you do it? Speeches? You do it in where?
Sure. I did it at the Reagan Library in September. I did it at the Republic.
All right. So Chris Christie is going to solve the problem by giving a speech at the Reagan Library without mentioning what's happening on Fox News. So nice, 99% nice job by Nicole Wallace, and the whole thing feels very grifty. And she's right that it does seem like a pretext to set himself up to run for president, which that's fine. That he has every right to do that. But if that's the idea, we would imagine he's incentivized not to go after Fox News because he'll need Fox if he ultimately wants to run for president. So there's Chris Christie. Let me know if you're going to be reading his book. I'm all set, as I like to say. Let me know your thoughts. Find me on Twitter @DPACman. One of our sponsors is Splendid Spoon. Now, if you're like me, I love planning my meals out for the week, but sometimes I just run out of time to plan them for every single day. And Splendid Spoon makes that whole process a lot easier. They deliver fresh, delicious, plant-based meals right to your door, ready to eat. No cooking, no cleaning dishes, saves you a lot of time. You can choose from over 50 hot and cold meal options. There's smoothies, grain and noodle bowls, soups. I'm a big soup guy. Many of you know that. I also really liked the vegan meatballs with marinara noodles. Delicious. Both I and Splendid Spoon believe eating more plant-based is a great tool for feeling good, for helping the environment. The list goes on. I'm not vegan. You all know that, I think. But Splendid Spoon is really great to just help me maximize the proportion of plants in my diet. Splendid Spoon takes all of the work out of tasty, healthy, plant-based meals. And you'll save $35 when you go to splendidspoon.com/Pacman. The link is down below.